Hey guys, my name is Simon. You may know me from my other YouTube channel where I talk about cryptocurrency and DeFi. If you're not familiar with that channel and you are interested in cryptocurrency and DeFi, then you can click the link in the description down below. This channel, we talk more about personal finance, we talk about investing in the stock market, we talk about bank accounts, credit cards, pensions, property investing, side hustles, pretty much anything that will help you make money in the safest possible way. And by safe I mean, low to medium risk rather than the high risk that is often involved with cryptocurrency. And we talk about ways to save money and build our wealth. In this video we're going to be looking at trading 212 and more specifically pies, or the pie feature on trading 212. Now if you're not familiar with pies, what they are in a nutshell is like a little pot or a pie, but if you think of it as a little pot where you can throw a number of different shares in there of different companies, and when you invest into that pot you are effectively investing into all of those individual companies. So like the S&P 500, it's a collection of the top 500 companies in the USA. When you invest into an S&P 500 index fund, you're effectively investing into all of those companies, and a pie is pretty much the same, except you choose which companies are in that pie. So it'll make it easier if I actually just log into Trading 212 and show you exactly what I mean. So this is the Trading 212 ISA account. There are three different accounts on Trading 212. There's the ISA, where you can invest up to £20,000 tax-free every single year. That means that if you make any profits or if you get any money from dividends, you won't pay tax on them. The invest account is pretty much the same thing, except you will pay tax on any profits that you make from the invest account. So if you obviously utilize all of your £20,000 within a tax year and you still want to invest, then you'd have to put the rest into the invest account. And then of course we've got the CFD account, which is not something I would recommend. CFD is pretty much CFD stands for contract for difference, and it's pretty much trading. It's very, very high risk. There's a lot of leverage involved, so you can borrow money against what you're investing. It's not something I would recommend. It's not something I would use, and probably not something I will ever really touch upon on this channel, but it's there if you are interested. But we're going to look at the ISA account. Now the pies are available in the ISA account or the invest account. I'm just looking at this particular account because I've already got a pie created here. So on the menu here next to the home button, we've got this little pie chart looking button. If we click that, then we can see our portfolio in the left hand menu here. So down on the left I've got all the individual stocks that I've invested into. Some of these are doing great, some of them not so great. The ones that are not so great are probably for the chopping board, and I will be getting rid of them and putting more of my money into tech companies, US tech companies, and index funds such as the S&P 500 and the FTSE 100. But I'm just waiting to claw back a few of those losses before doing that. So that's the investments here, and then next to that you can see pies. So if we click on that, this is where we can create our own pies. Now I've already got one created here, my Las Vegas pie, which I'll show you in just a second. But just below that we've got this button here to create a pie. So we can click on that and then we can create a ready-made pie. So this will be copying somebody else's pie that another investor on the platform has already created, or we can build a custom pie where we can add our own choices into the pie. So I'll click on build a custom pie first. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'll just give you a quick demo. You simply click on add instruments and then you can choose all the stocks you want. So if I wanted to add Nvidia, I do that, I click add to pie. Then I can go back and I can choose Tesla and click add to pie, and then down the bottom here you can see I've added Nvidia and Tesla, and then I'll click next, and then I'll click next, and then it will ask me how much I want to invest. And it's a very, very straightforward process, so I'm not going to go through all that because I'm sure you'll find your way, but that's pretty much how you build your own pie. And then obviously we've got the option of copying somebody else's pie. So if you click on choose a ready-made pie here, and then we can choose one of these community pies. So some people might create pies that's well, for example, that top one there, almost daily dividends. So all of the companies that are within that pie will be companies that pay dividends, and they've set it up in such a way that each of these companies will pay a dividend on a different day of the week, hopefully across the whole year, because there are a number of companies in there. So that's pretty much how you would copy a pie. You can just choose any of these, one that catches your eye. It might be one that's, you know, investing into energy companies, or one that's investing into electric vehicles, or whatever it is. I'm sure there's going to be a pie that interests you. This pie here, this Las Vegas pie, this is the one I've created, and this is because I'm a big fan of Las Vegas. As you can see here, there's my little Las Vegas sign. I try to go to Las Vegas as often as I can. I've not been for a few years now, but I just love Las Vegas. So I created this pie, which is just a number of casino holding companies in Las Vegas. So if I click on the Las Vegas pie here, and then on the right hand side you can see this other window. We've got overview, which gives you a view of what's been invested. So I've invested £399.42. I've got no cash available to invest into this pie at the moment, and I've got a £16.88 profit, or 4.23%. The next tab is holdings. So this will show you a breakdown of all of the companies that are within my pie. So I've got MGM Resorts, Wynn Resorts, Caesars, Las Vegas Sands, Golden Entertainment, Boyd Gaming, Red Rock Resorts. Now that they're just the 7 that I've chose so far. I can easily add more to this, so when I come across other holdings companies, or, you know, Las Vegas companies that I want to add to this particular pie, I can simply click on edit the pie, and then I can add more companies to that pie simply by choosing them there. Now the other thing we need to talk about is how much you invest into these pies. How does it work? So when you first create a pie, I've got 7 companies here. If I invested £70 into this pie, it would distribute them evenly. That's how it's set initially, to distribute that investment evenly across all of the different companies. So £70, 7 companies, it would put £10 into each company. So pretty much buy £10 worth of stock in each of these companies. Now you don't have to have that money distributed evenly across all of the different companies within your pie. So if you wanted to put, say, 50% into MGM and then put the rest into the other companies, you can do that, or you can set your own percentages, you know, by company individually. So I could put 20% in MGM, 15% in Wynn, 10% in Caesars, 5% in Las Vegas. You kind of get the idea. You can split that however you want, and you can choose how much to invest into each particular company. I find it easier to split it evenly across all of them, but if you wanted to, do that manually, then you can do that. Now you can either invest manually or you can auto invest. I invest into this pie manually, which means whenever I've got a spare £50, then I might throw it into this pie. Or you can just click on this auto invest button here, and you can set these parameters to whatever you want. So if I wanted to invest for the next 1 year and I want to put in, I don't know, £100 every single month, then I can do that and then just click next, and that would happen. And one of the best things about this is it shows you an actual value projection of what your investment could be worth after your investment duration has ended. So for example, if I invest £100 for the next year, I would have invested 1.2k or £1,200, and it could be worth 1.28k, £1,280, based on an annual return of 10.45%. Now this obviously isn't guaranteed. This is just working off historical data, and it's a projection of what could happen, but it gives you that rough idea of what you can expect to get from your investment. Obviously, if I up this investment to £400 a month, then we would have invested £4,800 after a year, and we could potentially have £5,130 at the end of that year. So that's just a really good visual representation of what your investment might be worth. Obviously, you've got to have money on the platform or set up a credit card payment to do that. And then we've got sharing. So this is pretty much if you want to share this pie with somebody else so they can invest into your pie, you can do this. You can share it to the Trading 212 community, or I can share it down below. So I will leave a link down below if you're interested in investing into the Las Vegas pie. If you're a fan of Las Vegas like I am, you know, but obviously you can just share this with friends, family, or whoever you want, and you know, you can create as many pies as you want. So if you wanted to create one for electric vehicles and one for energy and one for tech companies and one for gaming companies, whatever you want, you can pretty much create a pie and do it. You can even create a pie with ETFs. So if you wanted to build a pie with your own, you know, personal favorite ETFs, then you can do that as well. So you just click on add a pie, and then you could choose from the list of ETFs here, so Vanguard, S&P 500 for example, or iShares Global, or whatever it is. So you know, it's pretty much, you know, unlimited the choices you can have and the pies you can create here on Trading 212. And I just think it's a really great way of investing into a group of companies, and not necessarily a group that's been selected for you like in the S&P 500 or the FTSE 100, but a group of companies that you have, you know, a personal preference for or a personal interest in. Just a fantastic product. Now, if you're not already a member of Trading 212, then you can use the link down below in my description, and you will get a free share or partial share worth up to £100, and I will also get one, so thanks if you do use that referral code. If you use my pie, if you're already a Trading 212 user and you want to copy this pie, then again the link is down below. Click that link, and again you will get a free share for doing that. So that's it. So this is pies in Trading 212. Really straightforward. Probably one of the safest investments out there. Obviously you've got to choose the right companies, but when you're diversifying your investments across multiple companies rather than in investing into individual stocks, you've got a much better chance of, you know, keeping profits than you have if you put all of your money into one single asset. Anyway, hope you found it useful. If you did, guys, click that thumbs up button down below, subscribe to the channel, check out my other YouTube channel if you're interested in cryptocurrency, and I'll see you again in another video.